Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Seems like it's been such a long, long time. And hello, everyone. Welcome back. Seems like it's been such a long, long time. And there we go. Mistake already. Being away from YouTube let's see. Hey, Mike. Where is trying to get the oh, okay. Few little technical difficulties. Seems like I haven't streamed forever. I did, AG. I sure did. I had my the view screen. I had the sound on, and when I do that, then I hear it like echo. Hello, Jerome. So let's see. I think I got four that I'm going to try to do today. Two Spider-Mans. Got a Miles Morales here. And that's for Jacob. Mike, you have a Spider-Man, a webhead Spider-Man. Tyler has a Thanos, and Sean a Hellboy coming up. Hey, Dr. Kaz. How you doing? Good to see everybody. So I was sketching on this one to warm up a bit. It's been a while. And good to be back. I had a nice trip to Dallas. Had a great little show there. It's a true comic book show. Those are always nice because you get real comic book fans. And they're not there for any of the media. So these four are the last I have of my quick sketches. I'm thinking I can get them done today, but this Miles might take a while due to the webbing. So I figured I might get started on him. I know he's kind of got like a black suit with the red webbing, and if I'm doing it digital, then it's easy. You can just overlay the webbing in color. But for this, I'm going to have to be a little more careful. I think I can take a little bit of artistic license with it. Not a lot, but anyway, I'm just looking it over here, see where I want to start, and see who else is coming in the room. I'm assuming Ron is somewhere out there, so I'm going to say hi to Ron. Well, Jerome, this is a little bit more quicker one, not like the one you got. So this is not going to take me 4 hours. Hopefully, this will take me 40 minutes to an hour. But nonetheless, you know, it's still going to take a little bit of time. I'm trying to figure out a way. I almost thought about doing the webbing and then going back in with white to do it. And I still might. I don't know. If I draw in enough webbing to see it, and then when I put the black in, I can go and make it white, and it would still look very cool. So that may develop. We'll see. Right now, I'm just gonna start inking and get the head shape and the eyes and stuff put in. That's why I went ahead and drew this webbing, because I might have to touch some of it in white up regardless. So, anyway, with that being said, I've also kind of had the thought of doing sketchbooks. Sean, how you doing, man? No problem, dude. Good to see you in the room. I had a couple people in Texas. I actually met. I think it was four people came by in Texas. I think, and a couple of them gave you a big thumbs up, Sean, for letting them know about my stream. They're part of the Facebook group that you're on, and when they saw you post, they came over and saw what I was doing and got some sketches. So I want to say thank you for spreading the word for me. Appreciate that very much. So as I was saying real quick before I get started on this, uh, uh, I'd been thinking, and maybe I'll start it with this batch of putting together a little sketchbook. It'd be a smaller, like 8.5 by 11, folded over, and yeah, Texas was good, Sean. So anyway, that's just kind of, I'm thinking of making sure I scan every one of these now at a 300 DPI. Whereas before, I might just take a photo or I'd have to scan one for a thumbnail. But I think I'm going to make a collection of them and possibly put together a sketchbook. And what I would do is just kind of, like I said, I have some scanned in, but they're at kind of a lower res, so I don't think they would print well enough. Which is kind of a shame. I didn't think about this earlier, but it just kind of, and it wasn't even at the convention that I thought of it. It was actually this morning when I was doing these. I was like, a little sketchbook of these might be kind of nice to have. So that's what I'm thinking anyway. I'm gonna go ahead and take the time to do a 300 DPI scan, and I don't know when I'll have enough for an actual little sketchbook. I would like it to at least be something decent. It's got to be in divisions of 4 though for the pages, so we'll see. I think it could be fun, and I want to keep it affordable. And then I, of course, have other commission work to work on. This is Wednesday. I have David's Spider-Man I need to finish, and I got to get on to Jerome's piece. I brought back some sketch covers over my exec to ink. So, like I said, it's going to be a lot of streaming going on because I enjoy it. That's true, Sean. I thought about that. I hope so, Jerome. There you go, Mike. Oh, that yeah. I'm. I just figure I'll put them all in. Um, that 2-day Texas show, if you're into it, it's it's really a good show. The people that put it on are real friendly, um, and it's all about the comics. It's not about the media, not about the cosplay. Although I don't mind cosplay, um, but all things being equal, it's definitely a show devoted for comics fans and comic books. So, and the ticket price at the door is, from what I understand, on Saturday it was $20 to get in. So very easy on the wallet because you're not paying for any of those media guests to fly first class to a show and stay at a 5-star hotel. Sean, my printer 300 DPI is actually. I talked to him this morning, and that's what I've been doing for prints, and it turns out really well. I would almost guarantee everything's digit, unless you have a real a printer that's using like an old 4-color press. Everything is digital these days. So if you're sending them something that high, I would almost guarantee that they're dropping it down, because that would just chug. That would just really chug their printer down, probably. They might ask for something higher, but I think they're probably dropping it down on you. I could be wrong. Um, it's just been my experience, though, that 300 to 400 tops. But you know what? You got to go with what they tell you. So if they're telling you that, then that's what I would give them. But hey, like I said, it's really good to be back. Tell you that jet lag caught up with me. Always gets me that, well, because I'm flying all day Monday. Yeah, it got me yesterday. I was tired. Yeah, happy Chinese New Year. I read it was the year of the pig. Hey, Joe, Ron, how's it going? I said said hello to you earlier. I figured you were already in the room, or you would be soon. So what I don't know, if I make a little sketchbook, if I would try to do two on a page, this would almost be about the size of the page. These are 6 by 8, so it would be okay on the 8 inch, but the 6 inch, since it's 8.5 by 11 folded over, that would not quite work. So I'd have to reduce it a little bit. And then I got to thinking, well, maybe I could do two on a page or something like that. But I'll I'll have to play around and see what becomes of that thinking. Hey, Tater, good to hear that, Joe. That one was insured anyway, so we were fairly safe, even if it was. But I'm glad it came unscathed. By the way, I want to say I took Sean's advice and signed up for that USPS Postal Service. I forget what it's called, but it's really cool because it actually takes a picture of your mail. So anything coming to your house, almost anything, they take a picture of it and email it to you. I get mine about 8:30 every morning about what's coming to my house. It is the weirdest thing, but it is so cool. So that's really neat, Sean. Um, I would say, you people that are getting original art or anything uh, coming to your house, go ahead and do. Uh, I forget exactly what it's called, but it's really neat. Now, if you got anything bad coming to your house too, it's you know. Although bills usually don't come in the mail anymore. Bills are usually just either taken out of your account or you get an e-bill now. So you do see all your junk mail, so you know what to expect. And it was neat because while I was away, I could see that I had a couple of 1099s coming in for income tax, and a bunch of junk mail. So I knew what I could immediately just toss in the can and what I had to keep. It's very cool, Sean. I didn't know it had been out that long, though. Did you get that, Dr. Kaz? Yeah. Very cool, Joe. Glad to know they'll be up on a wall. I like the I don't know if you all saw the time lapse videos that Sean did of me doing his Riddler piece and his Punisher, but that was cool. I'd been wanting to do that, especially for my Instagram, because you can go up to a minute, and he fit the whole thing into that 1 minute. Very, very cool. Now, however, my Mac is just a Mac Mini, and it's not that powerful, and my internet speed is not tremendous. So for me to download and upload, it's it's a bit of a, I don't know how long those took you, Sean, but for me, a, a 3 hour, it takes me about an hour. Yeah, well, for a three hour video for me to download, it takes about almost an hour per hour, maybe a little bit less. Yeah, I know UPS and FedEx have that text thing, don't they? Or do they actually have an email thing? But what really amazes me is that they have the photo scan thing of it, which is that blew my mind when I got that first email and I saw that. Couldn't believe it. It is very cool. All right, I gotta figure out. This webbing is gonna be really tough to try to go around all of it with black because I got some nice chunky black areas on his mask. So, hold on, I need to figure this out. This is the one thing about Miles that, like I said, I haven't seen any original art from the book, but from what I could tell, looks like the people drawing the book are probably letting the webbing be handled in the color. I got a reference piece up now on my iPad, and I'm looking at it. It's a cover, and it doesn't look like the webbing was inked open. It looks like it was put in. Maybe the artist drew a line, an overlay or something, and then the colorist went in and somehow did it. But that's neither here nor there, is it? Is my problem now. Um, just trying to figure out the best way to get this done so it doesn't take me all afternoon. And I think that's going to be to go a little bit, you know, little bit sketchy with it, just for the fact that it is a sketch, and got to shortcut something on it so it doesn't, like I said, can't be spending 3 hours on one. That would kind of defeat my purpose, but we'll make it look good at the same time. And it was really nice meeting the people in Texas. That was a lot of fun. So if I'm going to be at a convention near you, make sure you come out and say hello. You know, um, I had a lot of people asking me about the stream. I guess some people have seen it, and you know, but Eldon came out with his son, and it was nice to meet him and his son. And let's see, who do I also have written here? Jason was out, and the guy that got the ROM. I'm looking for that now. He came up. He was the fourth one because, oh, it was the one I didn't get to stream. It was an Electra, and that went to Evan. He came up. So it was those three: Eldon, Evan, and whoever I just said. It's Jason, and then Rom. That must be on. Let me see. No, okay. Oh, Chris, guy named Chris. He actually came from Oklahoma. No, he didn't come from. Well, yeah, I guess he did, and or no, I can't remember it. But the funny thing about it was, I told him, I said, dude, I could have brought it to you. It's in the mail right now, coming your way. And yeah, so it's a good time. Got to see Dennis Cowan again. I had not seen him in probably 30 years or a little over. Nice to say hello to him for a couple minutes. Wish I could have had a chance to talk to him a little bit more, but it was Sunday and it wasn't a busy day, but it was busy enough to where I was doing some business over where he was at and went over, reintroduced myself. He had not seen me, like, so he wouldn't recognize me. I don't even know if I would have recognized him had he not had his sign. Probably not. And then I was going to get that nice John Wick print that he drew and Bill Sienkiewicz inked. And I was going to get that for Zablo, and I never got back over to pick one up from him. So hopefully Dennis will be at another show somewhere this year, and I'll see him again. You're right, Mike. Those time lapses were very cool. Yep, Dr. Kaz. Sean did a very good job on those. I enjoyed seeing them. Well, hook that up for me, Jerome. Uh, Mike and I are always up to come to Asia. That I would like to do that. Maybe I could get a trip for my wife and son. That Asia. Is it Asia Pop in Manila? So I could get back to the Philippines. Mike, let's see. I might be heading up to Epic Comic Con in Atlantic City. No, I will not be there at that one. That weekend, I will be in Iowa with another Mike, Mike Golden. Um, so I might, however, no guarantees, but I just might be at the I might be at Rhode Island. Um, if you do that one, it's put on by the same people, I think. And I also might be at the I'd like to do Baltimore again. Baltimore is a good show. Like it a lot. It's another real as those of you who have been, it's another real comics oriented show. Is it really Baltimore's 20th? Huh. I don't even remember them having media guests at all, Mike. Quad Cities, AG. Are you near that? Quad Cities, Iowa. It's the Planet Funk Con. So I have no idea what to expect. Maybe you've heard of it. I know this is not their first year. I think they at least have done one other show. When is it? I want to say it's in August. If you Google Planet FunkCon, you'll see it. I don't know if they've got me listed or not. Well, I guess I'll be seeing you there. Small world. Hey, while I'm doing this, maybe somebody in the know can help me out before I get that far. Does Miles Morales get the spider sense? Does any of that come into his world, or is that just Peter Parker's deal? I don't want to do any bitey, tingly scents. I do know what I like about his suit though is that they make it really dark. You know, it's black with the red. It's kind of a nice. It's definitely a nice look. Yeah, spider sense definitely. All right, good. Thanks, Sean. You are a man of knowledge. Pleased to meet you. Hope you guess my name. Speaking of singing, on the plane out to Dallas, I watched Bohemian Rhapsody and thoroughly enjoyed that. I don't know if any of y'all have seen it, but I'm not a big Queen fan. I can listen to their music and enjoy it, um, but it was a great story and it got me interested. So uh, yesterday I was looking on YouTube and let's see, even in the room early Sunday morning when I was doing some sketching, I was watching like real footage of Queen and real documentaries and stuff, and very interesting. I hope that guy, I can't remember his name now, Malik or whoever, I think he did a wonderful job playing Freddie Mercury. Yeah, it was really, it was, from what I could tell, it was really well done. And the the performance that the guy did was fantastic. I was even looking at where he'd been on a couple of talk shows, and you know he had the teeth with him that he had, you know, had them gold coated or whatever, and it must have been difficult to work with those in, but he pulled it off. But interesting, you know, just historically interesting because I didn't know a lot about them, about Queen the group. Um, so for me, it was, you know, it was more than just about Freddie Mercury. It was, you know, it's a whole good movie. Oh, that's cool. Where can we find that, Joe? Your blog post about it. If you want, you got my email. Send a link over. I'd be interested in reading it. Okay, great. We'll we'll enjoy reading about it. I don't even remember that particular movie. I don't know what the release on it was, but I never even I never even saw it at a movie theater near me being advertised. So I'm really happy I got to catch it on the plane because it was a good way to pass the time. And I had to skip I had to skip about 15 minutes though to get it all in, but I wanted to see the end. So I skipped the part where the band was kind of getting back together to do the Live Aid concert. I skipped all the mumbo jumbo and went right to the where they were redoing the concert. Sean, I didn't do a lot of sketching. I did a few. It was so busy doing signatures that it was hard pressed to find time to do sketches. And that's why most of the time, Zach and I, when we're at a convention, um, we have to wind up taking stuff back to the room because because of that. Uh, the signatures take up so much time that we don't really have a chance to sketch at the table, which I'm not complaining about. Mind you, it's just it just makes for really a a long day or you know a long show. But you know, depending on how you feel about it, I am one of those mean people that charge for my signature. Um, I say that in jest, if you know, because I know uh, some people do care. Some people kind of expect it now, um, or at least that's what I've been seeing. And I signed for free for. Oof, and I didn't start charging for my signature until. Well, I'll tell you when it started was when CGC came around and started doing their signature. Well, I guess it started even before that. I had a few, very few, not as many as some people, opportunities for these people that were selling books on QVC and Home Shopping Network. I had one guy I signed some books for. I don't think they went to Home Shoppers or QVC. I think they went to some other marketing deal. But that was a, hey, we'll pay you to sign like 1,000 copies of, and I remember what it was. 1,000 copies of that was it was the first issue that of Aliens Predator that myself and Jackson Geist did, that we didn't finish, but we did sign the first one. I think it was 1,000 copies, something around there, 1,000 or 1,500. And then CGC came in kind of on the tail end when that was fading out. I know a lot of people that made just a boatload of money just signing when QVC would have people go out and sit there and feed them books all day and then hand them a nice fat check when they were done. Yeah, I know. Isn't it funny? Yeah, I remember watching that and uh, listening to all the hype about how much those comics were going to be worth with all these signatures, and I was just like, well, people will buy anything. And that was during the boom time, so people really thought they were getting a good investment. And of course, now, you know, uh, the book that Zach and I signed the most is Secret Wars 8. Any show, that's the one. Secret Wars 8. People are, those are constantly being, we even do a lot of remarks on those. Those are constantly coming up. I'm surprised that some of those books, the shape that they're in, are just wonderful. People will come up and get like 10 copies. And I know some of them are, maybe from facilitators or something. I have no idea, but uh, they're in good shape. That's all I got to say is, somebody's had warehouse finds or something, and man, they're going to get some 9/8s out of those books. Joe, I never, it was not that movie. I don't remember it being promoted here where I live. It may have been. I just, I may not have been aware of it. However, didn't I see something where some people were, for some reason, upset with the movie that they felt it wasn't an accurate portrayal? Was that the actual? I don't think it would be the actual band because it seems like from everything I've heard, they were pretty hands on with it. I don't know if it was people involved with Freddie that didn't like the way it. it was handled or what? You're right, Sean. Secret Wars 8, when Zach and I are at a show, it automatically, the dealers put put a higher price on it. Um, I think one in a fairly decent, fairly decent shape without any grading or anything is minimum 80 and can go for around 100. Um, so it's not the most expensive book, but it's not the cheapest either. But did you hear about the controversy at all, Joe? Or is that just me? I think it was like after it was nominated for stuff, people that's when people were like, well, maybe they thought it didn't deserve a nomination or like I said, I'm blanking out on who the actor who played Freddy after I just maybe they were saying he didn't deserve it or I don't know. There's always something, you know, always something. Okay. Let's see. Brent Singer. Wow. So I guess Sean and the to man, that's a big expense to yeah, well, depending on how far they were in on the movie, but even just to take stuff and even if they were a few scenes in, that's still, to dump it like that is that's kind of huge there. That's an expense. Although I don't know if it was shot on film or digital. I was gonna say I'm sure digital is not as expensive as film used to be. Just like it's funny when they're rolling that tape and they're talking about it getting thinner and thinner, recording over and over. I know exactly what they mean by growing up when I had an 8-track, I had cassettes, and yeah, so definitely that tape does get thin after so many plays, or in their case, recordings. And I think it was Dr. Kaz that it's about a VHS tape a while back or something. And remember when you had to take your pencil or something and tighten up the tape when it would get too loose, or if it would if it would uh, run off the what, the spools or whatever you want to call it in there. So I am going to leave myself a small spider web thin on this, at least the face part, so that when I go back in with white out, I'll have a bit of a guide. Yeah, it I don't, I think when I really kind of that's when I really heard about it, when it won I forget the words, it just Emmys, Grammy, no, that's music awards. Oh, I'm not big on award shows, so whatever. You're right though. It was just nominated for a bunch of stuff, so odds are it's probably gonna win. And I enjoyed it. I thought it was really with me you know not knowing the whole story. And that's funny because I grew up in that time period. Um, but I really, like I said, I wasn't a big Queen fan. I enjoyed, their hits and stuff, but I never went out and bought their music. I think I think I can enjoy the you know, and when I mean now, I mean, even like before this movie, I think I think I understand the voice talent that Freddie Mercury had. Um, uh, a lot more now than I did when I was in that time era when that stuff was coming out. Like I said, I think I will open up again for these next week. I need to get some other stuff chugging along. Uh, so next week, I'm going to do two, probably maybe the same day, just so I'll have them plugged in. And I'll do one like for East Coast time, 5, and then I'll do 5 for, and if the West Coast people fall asleep on it, that's fine too. I'll open up 5 more slots. So if you're looking to get one, pay attention. I don't know what day next week, but mm, if I'd had if I had to guess, I would say I'd like to know kind of, or do it early-ish in the week, like Tuesday maybe, after I mail out these. And I'll do one again like around what, between 10:30 and noon Eastern time, and then another grab at them. I would say, I want to say, because I go to bed fairly early, 9 o'clock at night Eastern time. That gives people on the West Coast, that'll be 6, and everywhere in between. So that should give them some time to grab one if they haven't had an opportunity. And remember, you know, uh, you can grab more than one if you want. Hey, while I'm talking about Bohemian Rhapsody, here's food for thought for anybody that wants to, did it seem did it seem like Freddie was just that loyal to the band, or do you think that maybe his solo albums didn't perform as well? And I don't even remember him doing solo stuff, but like I said, I wasn't much into it at that time. But was it that he was really loyal to the band Queen, that he, didn't just partake in a solo career, or was it that his solo career just didn't, hit the way it probably was speculated on, and then he decided to stay with Queen? I don't know. That was something I was thinking of. because if he stayed with the band, that's, it's a very honorable thing because uh, you don't see that a lot. If somebody has his talent, they definitely can go out on their own and usually do eventually, once. That's fine. You can, if you want to lug those things in, AG. Now, Mike Zeck won't be there. Like I said, it's Mike Golden will be there with me though, or will be there. Zeck will be at the Atlantic City show. Oh, you know what? I shouldn't have done that yet. That little, I was gonna, this little spot on his head, I was gonna brush out a little more. Let me get a little more ink off the brush. Da, da, da. All right. Those books are heavy. I know it. I got, I think I got 6 of the one that I did with Zach and 3 of the one that I did with Kelly. And they're here in my office, and they're still in the boxes they came in, which is probably a good thing. Cheers. All right. Hopefully. But Ron, this is the drawing quick head sketches, not daily live draw. Daily live draw is the longer involved pieces. These are supposed to be the quick ones, although a Miles Morales Spider-Man is it's a little more time consuming, especially now that I got to go in with whiteout and hit that webbing. But hey, I appreciate the thought of LaCroix. Ron, what day you think you're going to be by this weekend? Saturday, Sunday? When should me and the little man expect you here? And the little man, I mean Jacob, my son. Ron's going to come hang out, and Jacob will be here with me. So we should have a pretty good time. No, it doesn't. You're right. It doesn't roll off the tongue. Well, I don't know. DQHS. A gnome. I got a gnome. Hey, Chris. How you doing? Chris, did your package arrive by any chance? Hopefully it did. Let's see. Do I want to do? Oh, let's see. I know what I can do. Sean said yes, he does get spiders, Cincy. So I can. I think I'm gonna do kind of the dry brush flash lines coming into this one. But I'm also going to. Wow, that ink got gray down there. I got too much out of it. Let's redo that. Let me grab some more ink on this brush in general. And let's see. Don't like that. Let's make this work the other way. Well, thank you, Chris. I appreciate the kind words. And thank you, Mike. Yeah, truth be told, I think it was, you know, Ron had came over to my office here, and he saw some of the originals that I hadn't sent out yet, and he was kind of blown away with them too by the fact that how much better they look in person than they do on a stream. And it's true, you do lose some quality in the stream, but hey, the stream is the fun part too, right? So can't I wish the quality was as good, but it's not. Um, I think I think we can only ask so much when we're doing art like this to pick up. I'm at least happy that I got my camera settings a little bit better over the course of time. All right, like that a much better. Whoa, a Mario? Like that a much better. Okay, so wow. Yeah, this one I knew was going to be a killer. Got to figure out an easier way to do miles. I don't think there is really. Time for the white ink and brush to do the webbing. May as well, if it runs too late, what I'll do is I'll do the other Spider-Man and maybe come back tonight. What is tonight? Wednesday. Come back tonight Oh, boy, the cap of this is broke. Look at that. I just noticed this crack right here in the cap of my white ink. That is a that's a disaster waiting to happen if I let it. So, gonna have to be aware of that. Now this is it's one of those Simply Simmons. It's a round. Um, but look at the here's look at how long the brush that you can get these nice long lines. Crossbones. Uh, yeah, I guess last time I opened it, whenever I was streaming, I guess when I put the cap back on, I tightened it too much. I guess I wanted to make sure I got it airtight, and apparently I did, although at the cost of cracking the cap, which now does it no good. So I'm at 185 subscribers. I think I hit that right at the beginning of the month. As y'all probably heard me tweet or say, I started January with 120. I was looking to get 150. And thanks to your help, we crushed that number. So I think that getting to 200 by the end of February is a definite goal that can be met. So I do appreciate. because without the help of you guys and girls, I wouldn't have been able to do it. Okay. Need to find one of my web lines here. I know I had one. Here's one. There was one that was a shoulder line. And it's the kidney lady. Yes, I'm still streaming. I will get back to her in a second. Let's see, is that one? I believe it is. Let me take that one up into here. And this one. Well, when she doesn't hear back from me, I told her I was going to, I may have told her 10. I think I switched to 11 though. But when she doesn't hear back from me, I think she'll realize I am. You would think she would have the link and just join in the room. Oh, I probably shouldn't have said that. No, that's just the, let me just say yes to her. Yeah, there. I love that easy text thing. Now, I guarantee she will text me back with a okay or a thumbs up or something. Let's see. All right. Let's take a break and look at the chat here. So how Marvel tried tying it so Infinity War and Cap may not make it back in Civil War. Yeah, I don't know about that, Ron. That's, yeah, she got back with an okay. I actually missed the ending of Civil War because Jacob was like, a little over 2, and he liked it when the action was happening, but towards the end, right before the big fight that I didn't know was going to happen, he started getting restless, and my wife and her friend and her little boy were there at the movie. We were all there together, and Jacob would not sit still. So I said, you know what? This movie's going to end. I'll take him to the car. It's okay. And it must have been 20 minutes later before they got out of the theater. And I was a little miffed because I did not know what had taken them so long. Little did I know, the last 15, 20 minutes of Civil War was this big, huge battle, or this battle between Cap and Iron Man or something, she said. It was just great. Apparently, I missed out on a really good scene in the movie, but what are you going to do? All things considered, I love my wife. I love my son. And that's what matters. You hear that, Bella? I love you, honey. Jacob, I love you. And so one day when they're watching this, they can once again hear Daddy say that. I should sign off with that. I think I'm going to make that my sign off. That I love my wife and my son. So anyway, there there was a lady, or maybe it was the guy that picked. Yeah, it was the guy that picked up. Um, I've forgotten his name now. He won the Venom, and I had done a Wolverine for him. Uh, and we were talking, and he had his son there, and I mentioned to him that he was talking about how they really enjoyed watching the streams, even if they didn't catch it live, they were able um, to watch the replay. And I told him, I said, I try to keep it as family friendly as possible. I said, I don't curse. I used to curse, but I just kind of stopped. And I'm glad I did now that I got my own kid. Um, but he was appreciative of it also, and also how friendly that everybody was in the chat room. It felt like, to him and me both, it was like a safe place that you could, if you had a kid, you could watch somebody doing a drawing or something and not have a bunch of curse words and other negativity flying. So I want to thank you all for that too, because you're part of this whatever it is we got going on here, and I appreciate you all um, being nice and polite to each other. Also means a lot to me. Oh yeah, thanks, Dr. Kaz. I might actually uh, search that on YouTube. I think I remember now telling that story again, and someone said, "Oh, you can watch that fight scene on YouTube." So that's a good reminder. I'm gonna have to maybe look that up and watch it. It doesn't really matter that much in the context of the movie to me anymore, but I do like to see the comic characters with the better movie making skills we have now go at it. Makes for a much more realistic fight scene than some of the stuff that had come before. Okay, so this seems to be working out to my liking. But I know there's got to be a better way to do a Miles Morales sketch. And that means I am going to go on the hunt and see how other people have handled the webbing on the black suit so that when I get a request again, I'll be able to go, okay. Took me, let's see, I started a little after 11 and it's about 1:15. So it took a little longer than it should have, but all things being equal, it is a little bit tougher costume. But I imagine there's something out there. Even if it's just put the webbing in and really get, you know, kind of loose on the, a little more loose on the black areas and not be so uh, particular with the webbing. And without having to go in with white out and create it. But that's okay. Because for me, it's a challenge. And just because I spent that much time on it. Well, thank you, Mike. And as I was saying, since I went this far on it, I may as well, just for fun, I'm gonna take and do a little bit of Prismacolor pencil in his eye. Let's see, light's coming in from here, so all right. I should stop. This is my old dark, dirty eraser, so it's a little stiffer, which will allow me to pick up a little bit of this Prismacolor pencil, lighten it a bit, and get it off the areas I didn't want it to go on. All right, so number 1 is down. But you know what? Now I think I removed. Ron's probably shaking his head. I think I removed a little too much. little darker. I really play around with these too much, as you all well know. It's okay. Enjoy the value. There we go. Okay. I think we're going to call this done now. Thank you. And let me make sure I need to erase a little bit more. So yeah, I'll be scanning all these now at 300 DPI. Be thinking about a sketchbook. It'll just be black and white with maybe I'll do a color cover. It'll just have these little quick sketches in it, but it'd be kind of cool, I think. I am gonna get a quote on like a 32 or 48 page and see what the price would be for me to have them printed and what it would be worth to, for me to do it and spend time laying it out and getting it ready for printing. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do the other Spider-Man head now. Let's see, Peter Parker. So, gonna have him looking this way. And I do try to differentiate between him and Miles. With their head structure. Even though I've been known to give Peter a really thin neck because he's also a teen, or I guess Marvel has kind of put him into his mid to late 20s now. But I try to remember just to make him a little different. Mike, I don't color a lot. I started coloring in watercolors. Have you seen any of those episodes? And I really enjoyed it. And thank you, Dr. Kaz, for the big ups on Miles Morales. Much appreciated. It's really funny. Oh, you need to look at those, Mike. They're in my DLD, Daily Live Draw, and you'll see the thumbnails that are in color, and I go all the way through. They're this size. I start out with pencil drawing, ink, then gray tone, and then watercolor. Uh, you might want to give those a look and a thumbs up if you like them. And feel free to fast forward through some parts. I do the same when I'm watching somebody. If I feel like I can get away with it and not miss out on anything. Yeah, no problem. Thank you, Mike. And don't forget, thumbs up, comment if you like. If you have questions, you can still ask a question in the comment area down below, and I'll definitely see it. Get back to you with an answer as soon as I can. And let's not even talk about that so-called Super Bowl that was played Sunday. I mean, that was like, I know people will say, hey, all Super Bowls aren't interesting, but that's not true. They can be. That was a very uninteresting, and not just because the Patriots won. That was a really boring Super Bowl. Now, I don't know if it was because the defense was on both sides was being very good, but when you got the goat, oh man, that's stuck in my craw. When you got the greatest of all time on your team, you kind of expect more than, was it 10 or 13 points? I can't even remember now. It was so unmemorable to me. But yeah, that was like just nothing. I mean, it was like, I kept thinking, do they realize this is the Super Bowl, or are they just goofing around? Because nobody, I don't know, it just, it was that one breakaway play. Nobody seemed like they really wanted it. Shame. It was a shame. Maybe what we'll do here is Spider-Man afternoon, and I'll do Thanos and Hellboy tonight. Ron, would you be available to co-host those two if I do that tonight? That's the way I felt about it, Mike. I wasn't actually even gonna watch it, to tell the truth, but it was of course the restaurant and the hotel. It was on, and nobody was really excited about it, of course, but or at least not anybody I know. But Steven would have been. I'm happy for Steven. He's our Patriots fan among any others that are Patriots fan. That's cool, but it's in my agreement as a Dolphins fan that I can't like the Patriots. So sorry. Yes, Spider-Man afternoon. It's like the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, but I only do it in the afternoon. That's pretty good. It's afternoon suit. Yeah, it's like what he wore in Into the Spider-Verse. He's got sweatpants on and a hoodie or a jacket of some sort. That would be kind of funny. And I would be thinking, Sean, if you're still in the room, you can chime in. Yep, I like Marino. I think that his records were true, and I think that um, due to the rule changes that have happened throughout the years, that those records would still be standing had all this new rule stuff not come into play. I think the new rules, you know, I mean, face it, Brady did not get, well, he he didn't get roughed on that call. Like that cost the Chiefs the game. That was the NFL. We need we need the Patriots in the Super Bowl to get some sort of ratings. And truthfully, I don't know what the ratings were. That's how uninterested I was. I bet they weren't that high. It was kind of funny because uh, the people in Dallas, they did. The fans were wanting to watch the game, and they said, "Yeah, our team's not in it, but we love our football here in Texas," which is true in Florida too. And as a football fan, I enjoy a good game. I just don't think we saw one. Little disappointed. I'll tell you on YouTube, like I said, I was watching those documentaries on Freddie Mercury and stuff, and then those always lead you into other ones. So I watched one on, and I think a lot of these were from England, and this was kind of weird. I'd never seen this stuff before, but they actually they had some pictures of Michael Jackson's corpse from his autopsy, and they had a doctor talking about the body in general. And apparently with all those nose surgeries, he really had no cartilage left there on his nose at the tip. So when you see that Band-Aid, it's pretty much from what I could gather from what the doctor there was saying, it was gone. He had his nose worked on so much that it it was literally, when he wore that Band-Aid and had it taped up, uh, that's all it was. I know it, I remember seeing it getting real freaky there for a while, but I didn't think it would do that. But I haven't seen one on Prince. There was one on George Michael. Of course, there's always Elvis stuff. I've seen enough of those, but these were fairly new. I haven't seen one on David Bowie, although, I think his was just a strict case of cancer that he kept very quiet until he passed away. And I got to admit, though, uh, when him and Freddie Mercury do the let's see, okay, when he and Freddie Mercury did the Under Pressure song, they had a really good sound together. And I know in one of those docs that I was watching, it said something about they had planned and tried to do more work together, but conflicting schedules, among other things, prevented it. And whether that's true or not, who knows? But at least we have that one song where, man, it just like that's a strong song. Both voices in there were really strong. Oh, I just said, Sean, since that first Spider-Man went long, um, I said what I might do is come back tonight and do the Hellboy and Thanos drawings at around maybe 6:30 or 7. And I said, would that be, you know, would that be okay with you? It was a boring Super Bowl. Even if my team, the Dolphins, which had well, can't say had no chance. They blew a chance to have a good season. Uh, it was it was a snoozer. And I mean, I don't even think the defenses were playing like excited. I just think nobody was doing anything. I was just like, "Hey, wake up, guys! This is the Super Bowl." I think somebody needed to tell them that this is what they played all year for. And all it took was that one play from the Patriots, and it could have easily been one play, and it almost was from the Rams to win that thing. Uh, I think that was the lowest scoring Super Bowl in history. I think I did hear that. Well, she was right. That's what I was doing. I was like, is there another game on? I'm like, this is like any other Sunday night, but that's not the game I would be watching if there was something else on. Sometimes they can be, you're right. Uh, at least eh, the least I could say is most Super Bowls at least have a little more energy in them. This just seemed to lack anything. I think people are just tired of the Patriots. I mean, I think that's just, you know, I I mean, I'm not trying to offend anybody by saying that who's a Patriots fan, but I think that, you know, I think they're tired of seeing the Patriots go to the Super Bowl, but people had their chances to, you know, knock them off, and that didn't happen. So they get their 6-1. Thanks, Mike. Ron would say the same, but well, I never heard if Ron, could you make it tonight uh, for Hellboy and Thanos? And that was really what I had asked Sean. Was it, would he be able to make it? Because I think that first Spider-Man head, that was a long one. Let's see, I started at 11, and it's after 1. This will be finished up around 2, 11, 12, 1, 2. That's like 3 hours. Didn't mean to go this long on 2. I mean, if you can, you can. If you can't, you can't. But that's my plan, is to come back in, because the 2 that I'll have left, that'll clear me up on the quick head sketches. So, um, I'm kind of thinking I'd like to start fresh next week. Get these mailed out on, well, my normal mailing day is Monday, so get these mailed out on Monday. Sean would have his Hellboy plus the Punisher piece coming his way. And then Tuesday I would take 5 in the morning and 5 in the evening and work those into the week. I usually like to do groups of 3. Okay. Tell Mignola I said hello. His wife's got my same last name. Maiden name, that is. 7 o'clock, Ron. How's 7 sound? That'll give you extra time. Unless you're on one of those brutal brutal 14-hour day deals. That Mignola, man, what a talent. Oh, is that tonight? I did see that too. Every time I try this on the eyes, I don't know. Call me real old school, but it just doesn't doesn't work for me. Occasionally, if I make it a little more simple, it will, but thought I'd give it a shot. I bet whatever the over under was, I wonder how many people took the under because there was some money to be made there. At halftime, you just had to know you were making money when it was 3-0. I gotta imagine the over under was somewhere in the 30-point spread. Doc Kaz may know about that. And let's see, strictly cards. Yeah, I know. Noah, what's up? I think the Society of Illustrators, that's the is that the Reed brothers or something? Noah, how's things going? Oh, I can do it tonight. There's just some things I got to do this afternoon. And like I said, Miles took a little bit longer than I'm gonna, and I will. I'll research some sketches that people have done and see how they're handling the white webbing on the black suit. Pick up some pointers, see how they're kind of, and I guarantee, I bet a lot of people are. I don't even think they're doing this. I don't even think they're going in with whiteout. I think they're probably either doing less black on the suit or um, some other little tricky thing that I'll pick up. Well, maybe I'll do it. I was gonna say tomorrow afternoon. What is tomorrow? Thursday? Maybe I'll do them Thursday afternoon. Maybe I'll even start earlier. Um, that might work better. I think Bella might be cooking dinner tonight, and I better be home for dinner. That actually might work out to everybody's benefit. Start again around, instead of 11, I would probably do it like 9 or 10 tomorrow. Actually, the 10 o'clock spot, 10 to 10:30 or 11, has been pretty strong for me. Although it's It's not my idea spot for me personally, but it's had good audiences around this time. Guess maybe some of it's lunchtime. Thanks, AG. Noah, that's a good thing to do. Pop in while you're doing chores. Yeah, I agree, AG. Looking at it, it really, you know, it's the way it should look. But I'm going to be interested in finding some other artists who have sketched it to figure out, you know. Also, if I would have had a whiteout pen, that would have probably been the quicker way to go um, than doing it with a brush and whiteout. Although my skilled hands, my skilled hand jive hands can actually handle that, you know, whiteout and brush okay. So not everybody can do that. And I understand that too. Actually, I could use a bite of lunch too. Haven't eaten today and had some coffee. I was up at about 1:50 this morning. Tried to get back to sleep. Should have known better. Laid in bed to about 2:30 and finally got up and just got ready and came down here and worked on the Daytona Beach Comic-Con website a bit. Got some information. Got some graphics made. Haven't had a chance to put those up. So I gotta attend to that also. Gotta look over the old schedule. But I think tomorrow. I think I'll just finish these up tomorrow. And then what I'll try to do um, is finish up the penciling of David's symbiote Spider-Man so I can ink it tomorrow. Hey, I know what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Friday night hangout. Yeah, anybody? Friday night hangover? Friday night hangover. Friday night hangout, anybody? Anybody game. I'm gonna text my guys and just say 7 o'clock. I'll leave the back porch door open and the light on for you to come in. And who can ever make it with me, they're welcome to join. But now, Ron said he's coming over here Saturday. Well, we can do it for a couple hours, I think. Maybe. Today's Wednesday, tomorrow's Thursday. We'll cross that hurdle when he gets here. I like doing the Friday nights. Those are fun. Get a little yard sale artist on. See if we can get Mr. Snoring Zablo, Pat, who's always fun, and Ron. And of course, myself. Just chit chat. That could be an interesting Super Bowl conversation. I am gonna go get some coffee after this, so I know that. Coffee and a light bite of something. Light bite. Hopefully, Mrs. Beatty, and I don't mean my mom, I mean my wife, Bella, will be cooking up a little something special. I'm not sure that she will, though, but she is going to buy groceries today, so that's what I'm hoping. and I will get to be able to scan these. I gotta remember to scan everything at 300 dpi. Make a sketchbook. Make it affordable. I gotta see what it's gonna cost me to have that produced. I think 48 pages. Well, we'll see what 32 costs, and then what 48 pages would cost for me to have. I don't know how many copies produced. Maybe 100 or 200. That seems like an awful lot, but you never know. And then sell them for whatever the market would bear. I will do that, Mike. The great thing is my printer said they would actually make a copy of the book for me. And I thought they meant like, just a cheap one on some copy paper just to make sure the pages are all correct. And they said, no, we'll do it. We'll make one as an actual, how they would. Okay, okay. What? What I was thinking about doing with them is, let's just say I print 100, and then it would be limited to 100 copies. And then when I get another batch of drawings done, same thing, 32 pages or 48, whatever, I would do like a volume 2. And once that first one sold out, then it sold out. Limited amount. Now, that's not to say that I wouldn't eventually reprint the artwork like in a bigger, like here's 100-page or 140 or 150-page book. Let's see. Someone's at my door. Hold on one second. Could be the post. Yes, that was a well, something I don't think I can even talk about or stream. So, but I kind of just did. But it was a delivery. Dun, da, da, da. Spiderman, Spiderman does whatever a spider can. I'm thinking he needs a little something, on his forehead, but I'm kind of afraid to go in with this big brush, although it's nice and dried out. Hmm. All I need is a few brow lines type things. Let me see how dry this is. Yeah, all right. So far, so good. I think we're going to make it. Looks like we made it. Can I get a little curve? Yes. Okay. Now we go back the other way to kind of give it that split lighting effect. Voila. And real lightly, we need to taper it in here. And the last thing is we're going to run this lighting, get all this ink out of this brush, but I need a little bit, just with a few strokes. Going to run it down the side of his cheek so it just looks cool. There we go. Okay. And I think that's where we call it. Boom. Yeah. Kind of keep the light effect going. All right. Voila. Let me get this tape. That's some sticky stuff. Let me get that on my jeans and get some of the tack off of it. Perfecto. What do we think? Good job. Let me tape that on, rinse out my brush. Thanks, guys. I appreciate that. Well, it looks like a 3-hour stream, so we got 2 done. I'll be happy with that since Miles took a little extra time. That's what a friend of mine used to say, Mike, Jim Ivy. Bargain it twice there. Or he would say cheap at twice the price is what he would always say, but same meaning. And this is yours, right, Mike? The Spider-Man. If I remember correctly. Yeah, I'll show Miles again too. Before I sign off here, I'd like to say thanks for coming out today. Let's do it again tomorrow, probably around 10, 11. I really appreciate you guys and girls coming out and supporting me and my stream. I would like to say I love my wife. I love my son. So today we got these done. We have a classic Spider-Man web head for Mike Airing. Thank you, Dr. Kaz. I appreciate the compliment. And we have a Miles Morales. And this was for, let's see what the book says. The Little Black Book of Request. I think it was, I want to say a Jacob, like my son's name. Um, yes, Jacob Fandy, Fande, Fande. I don't know. So tomorrow we will do a Thanos and a Hellboy, and Hellboy will be for Sean. And thank you all for joining me today, and hope you can join me tomorrow. I will try to do it a little bit earlier, 9, 10, because I have to get other stuff moving. Some of it I can stream, some of it I can't. Whatever I can stream, I will. Here, should we have them looking at each other? Dun 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 dun. um, whatever I can, I will. Whatever I can't, maybe what I'll do is capture it on my computer and then be able to load it up after it's out. All right, sound good? Everybody, thank you on your way out. If you haven't already, thumbs up. If you have any questions, please leave a comment. Um, uh, let me know what you think. If you have any questions, feel free. And other than that, I'm going to go grab coffee and a light bite to eat. I got a few more things I need to do on a website. Thank you again. Means a lot. And hopefully we can gain some more subscribers this month and get past 200 and on our way to 3. In the meantime, everybody have a great day. Take care of yourselves. Hug somebody you love. Let them know you love them. Just like me. I love my wife, Bella. Love my son, Jacob. Take care, y'all. Be good. And I will see you soon. Have a good one.